Alright, this is day 220 of me trying to create the next Harry Potter book series. So, for the people who don't have like any context at all of what my world is about, you can go down to the description and you'll see a bit of a like introduction type of text for what it is about. And yeah, now for the documentation. I'm going to be completely honest. I want this channel to be as raw as possible, just so people can actually see how it is behind the scenes. So this day 220, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't write today. And it was, well, because of a problem I've been like having recently, which I'm quite like shameful of, and I sort of fried my, let's just say I fried my dopamine before writing. When I woke up in my beautiful bed right there. Yep, I sleep on the goddamn table. Not a table, I mean floor. But back to what I was saying, I woke up and I went onto my computer because I had, well, I'll be honest with you, I'm a man, or a boy in the morning, like this time. And I went to like my computer and I went onto Pinterest and I searched some interesting things. That's all I'm going to say. And I don't feel good about it, but I want to tell you because this is about like giving the full journey. I'm not going to exclude it, even though that's a thing I'm a bit shameful like about. So yeah, I fried my dopamine receptors, and it's way harder when my mind is like buzzing of images, etc. So I didn't write. I instead meditated a bit. I also spent the morning making sure I'm really like putting in systems to make sure my writing doesn't get killed off simply by a small urge, or like a powerful urge. So what I did was on my MacBook right there, I put something called cold turkey blocker on, which actually made my my MacBook completely Pinterest and whatever, yeah, Pinterest free in that sense. I'll actually show you because I'm betting you're probably out there and you might have the same problem even, and you want to write probably in the mornings and not the evenings, and maybe an urge is like ruining your writing. Your dopamine is fried, etc. If that's you, you can follow along. If not, the documentation is over because I didn't write anything today, so too bad. So let me show you. Basically what I've done to my MacBook, I've made it into a complete, like, the only thing I can do here is write. So I've allowed Drive and I have my documents here, but you can see when I search like that, I've actually went into the terminal host files there, and I've done a sequence of commands to get into host files, and I've blocked, that's my background, and I've blocked all of the different sites, etc. But that didn't stop me from today, because I knew how to get inside and remove like the block of Pinterest. So what I did was I got the extension Cold Turkey Blocker, and I also have the app right there. And what that does is that, in my opinion, it's the best blocker app out there. I'm not promoting or anything. I'm just saying from my own experience, that's my case. I tried different block sites, etc., but you could easily just bypass. You could remove the extension and then you're back on, etc. So I got the cold turkey one, and what that does is when I have block sets, I put Pinterest in, and whenever I try to remove the extension, or if I try to delete the app, it doesn't work. I can't. When I try to remove the extension, the whole Chrome browser just shuts down, and it's a big consequence because it doesn't open at the first, so I can't write suddenly. So it's very like fearful for me now to try to remove that extension. So I won't do it, because there's actually consequences to it. There's no upside anymore. And when I try to delete the app, it's not possible. It's not possible to delete the Cold Turkey app under the block set time when it's going. And I've set the time for the morning, basically from 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. Yeah, when I finish. Not as like the entire writing, it's just in general my entire morning routine. But that's the most important thing I want to discuss with you today. I think it's very important to understand that we're all humans, and it happens. I said it like in a previous video, I think maybe a week ago now, that there will come mistakes, but what matters is like how you operate, how you plan to make sure it doesn't happen again. And you put systems in place, you figure out, all right, so now like it's not physically possible, it's nothing my brain can even negotiate with. It's writing for dopamine or nothing. Simple as that. And I also think that's a very important topic when it comes to just in general succeeding in good habits. Making sure your dopamine baseline is lower, which means that you don't do things like I did today in the morning. You don't scroll incredibly much, like you don't go on social media to crazy and scroll, etc. Yeah, and then suddenly the writing will become more fun and enjoyable, and your brain will suddenly want to do it, because that's where you get your dopamine from. I think personally that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here. That's day 220. So another day into a very long journey. Take care.